Hey everyone, I thought I'd do an initial video on this. I'm rebuilding my C24-1 from WPL. I'll put up a picture of it here, what it looked like. I did a review on it months back when I started the channel, and I received it and it was just stock. So what I've done is, let me go through the real quick stuff, real easy stuff first. I've repainted the body. All right, so I did paint it like a coppery color. And then I also used the same paint on my C64-1, so I didn't want it to look too much alike. So I took this green color I had, I painted it, and then I kind of sanded it down a bit, and then took some rust paint so I could get it down to a bit of the bronzy, coppery color. And then I took some rust paint and did some spots on it. You could see, I think it turned out really nice. And then what I did was obviously did the same to the rear box. I painted the inside with a black hammered paint, and then I ordered this cab cover from WPL. Opens and everything. It doesn't come with a handle. You have to buy a whole little kit that gives you everything from wipers to this to that. So I just took another little handle I had and screwed it on. But in any event, this is what it's going to roughly look like. Let me get this in here. Oh, sorry. So I don't know how I did it, but I cracked the windshield. I think it's going to look good on it though with it being rusted, so I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so here's roughly what the body is going to look like. So I'm just holding the front and back on here, and I'm going to have I'm leaving the cap white because I have some Injora white wagon wheels, and going back to this era with the, let's say, I think this is like an early 80s type of Toyota, but even late 70s, 80s, you had these. So I'm going to be putting these on it, which I think are going to look really nice. And it'll pull the cap into the rest of it. So that's what the body is going to look like. I also got don't know where I put it, I got a light kit, so the WPL comes with front headlights and the front bumper, but I've got this because it has front and rear. So I'm going to put both in. I also ordered this, which is an Andora. It's a transmitter as well as a ESC and receiver combo. I'll show you what they look like. So here they are here. So there's your ESC, there's your receiver, and you've got plenty of room for lights and accessories there. I'm going to try to mount the two of these, obviously, up under here side by side, so should fit no problem as far as that goes. Now what I've done from a mechanical standpoint is this is the metal WPL frame. So the only thing left on here obviously is it's the frame and the servo. I'm probably going to have to exchange the servo, but I'll do that at a later date. So other than that, everything I've updated. I ordered the metal axles from WPL. You receive them in pieces and put them together. They're, you know what, once you get the hang of it, listen to that. They are really nice. Nice clean working axles. They've got brass gears in there. The other thing I did was I ordered their metal links. Now these don't have any weight to them, but the one thing I do like about them and why I got them is, if you can see there, the little end pieces, they screw on, so you can shorten and lengthen these as you need. And I think I might need to do that with the top links here to bring this, straighten it up a bit and align it with the wheels on the body. But so I've got the metal axles. I put their metal links in, which are easy to fit on. I also upgraded to some Injora oil-filled shocks. I think these are the 59 millimeter, if I'm not corrected, with like a medium type spring. The normal shocks are strictly friction, and they normally go in this hole here. I moved them back to also lessen some of the height, because when it goes there, it brings it down a bit, and it was a little too high. I did the same thing on the rear. Now what you have to do is this is what the original looks like. right? So things are on here with like a little screw, and they kind of slip on that way. So once you take everything off, what you have to do with these shocks is you've got your brass knuckle that is in the shock itself. I put this on an additional brass knuckle to bring it out. I've used a longer screw, and then I put a bolt on the other side and brought it together. And it worked well. The only thing that went wrong on me is I only had 3 of those bolts. So I've got a third one here that I'm trying to find, and I can't. So I'm going to have to go to the store and get one. But that's how you hook those up, and they stay on nice and strong, and everything works extremely well. The only thing I had to order was I had metal drive shafts from WPL, but these are too short. And even if I shortened some of these links here, this shaft isn't going to go in there enough. It's going to keep kind of a bend in it, and it'll clunk. So I've got a pair I ordered from WPL for my Jimny that are a nice solid female part, and then the male part is basically a nice solid bar. It's round, but it's flat on one side, and they're longer and they're nice and hardy. So I've got that coming, and then the engine is a Injora 180/48T motor. Problem I had is if you look at a stock Injora WPL motor, it comes with this kind of casing. Now this is one off the Jimny, but it's similar. You don't have the top piece, but you have this bottom piece. And what I was hoping was this is a 1/16 scale, so it's the frame itself is a little wider, and it fits the body well. Problem is, when I got this motor, if you can see right in here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little bolts, and that's where this motor mounts onto. So I tried to shave off and clip and basically tailor the original motor mount to make this fit. It wouldn't fit. So what I had to do was I obtained from Injora. It's a metal motor mount, and it's actually for the Traxxas TRX4M. I think it might work on something else, but I have one of these on my TRX. So what happens is because the TRX is a 1/18 scale and this is 1/16, the frame on the TRX4M is thinner, and this fits right in. So what I had to do was, what I originally wanted to do was, I've got some boulder bars here. I thought to add some weight onto it, I had the boulder bar in here, in between the frame and the motor mount, with just a little black washer, and it went in perfect. It was nice and tight, and I was like, fantastic. But then what I didn't realize is when it was in there, it actually impeded onto the hole that I needed to put my links in. So I took those out, and I thought, what am I going to do? And I had some these black plastic rods, and they're about the circumference of a pencil, maybe a little thinner. So I took those, and as you'll see here, I cut them, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I measured what it would take to make the mount even. I cut them, I sanded them down to make them as flat as I possibly could, and then I drilled a hole. I put them in my vise and drilled a hole through the middle of them. And then I got a longer bolt. It's an Allen or a hex, and I put it right through so it grabs into the motor mount. And it worked out perfectly. It's nice and solid. Couldn't be happier. I just need the one more bolt here to get the shock on, and then I'm good to go. And I think this thing's gonna run and look extremely well. So that's it. That's where I am on this. I'm trying to think of what else I've done. That's pretty much it. I've never done something like this before. I know in my Jimny I had ordered all parts from WPL, but with this one, putting the Injora shocks on an Injora motor into a frame that this motor doesn't necessarily fit into. I don't know, with the new transmitter and the receiver and the ESC, I think I should be okay. This ESC will take a 2 or 3S LiPo, It's called the Brushed Mini ESC 20 amp. So it's the Injora MB100 it's got on it. I didn't see a number on the box, but I'll put a link to it. I'll put a link to it, the motor, the shocks. I guess I can find. I got these shocks a while ago. They were hanging around, as well as the links through WPL, because these things are really good. Now they have a 5mm hex. All WPL and MN stuff does, but you do is these 1 inch. Sorry, it's my dog whining at the door. These 1 inch wheels from Injora, they've got a 7mm slot in it, so you can actually buy little adapters that go on here and change it from 5 to 7, and they go on. They go on really fine. So I've had no issues with that in the past. All right, let me know what you think. Hopefully I'll get it together and I'll be able to show you guys the final product and a run video. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe, like, and comment, and let's all be kind to each other. Thanks, everyone.